Isang magandang Sabado po ng umaga sa ating lahat at ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating Panginoon at nagising po tayong muli sa isang umagang puno ng pag-asa. At dalangin ko po na sa umagang ito ay tayong lahat ay nasa malusog na pangangatawan at pag-iisip. Welcome po sa 11:43 DZMR para po sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. At ako po muli si Dr. Jennifer Gatiwan C., your program host at kasama po ng Philippine Pediatric Society Northeastern Luzon Chapter. Samahan niyo po ako sa loob ng kalahating oras at pag-usapan natin ang isang napapanahong usapin. So we are now on the third Saturday of January at alam niyo po ba na every January po ay nagkakaroon po tayo ng paggugunita o pagkakaalam tungkol sa autism because we are going to celebrate the 29th National Autism Consciousness Week po. Itong mga darating na araw from January 20 to 26. Ayan. Siyempre, ang layunin nito is to raise awareness o magkaroon ng kaalaman about this condition that we call autism spectrum disorder. And we want to promote supportive environment for people or even with families na may mga kamag-anak na merong autism spectrum disorder. So, ang layunin nito is to help them live independently and of course, makapag-contribute po sila or maging productive sila sa society and they can function with dignity. So, yun po ang layunin netong pagbibigay kaalaman with regards to autism spectrum disorder. Hindi na po bago itong condition na to dahil alam niyo po ba noong 1943 ay a doctor named Dr. Leo Kanner ay siya po itong nagbigay ng pangalan sa mga kabataan na kanyang nakikita at tinawag niya silang meron kakaibang ugali or condition at tinawag niyang infantile autism. Later on, no, another doctor in the name of Eugen Bleuler, isa po siyang psychiatrist, ay dinescribe din po niya itong mga characteristics nito sa mga adults naman. So, pinakita dito na itong condition na autism spectrum disorder ay nag-uumpisa po mula pagkabata hanggang po sa kanilang paglaki or even in their adult life. So, ayun po 'no, matagal na rin po siya na-diagnose but as time goes by 'no, kung noon hindi gaanong napapansin, ay tumataas na rin po ang kaalaman ng mga tao kaya nagkakaroon na ng awareness at mas madami na pong nada-diagnose. But dito po sa ating bansa 'no, it is estimated that 1 in 100 people have ASD, so around 1%. Pero yung 1% na yon is only 10% have been diagnosed. So parang 0.1 lang ang na-identify. Dahil madami pong challenges sa ating bansa na kailangang i-address. Unang-una na po is kakulangan ng suporta, okay, ng mga programa para sa autism spectrum disorder na only the upper and the middle class families can afford na maipadala sila sa mga special schools. But nowadays, meron na rin programa ang ating gobyerno na meron na silang special education class na kung saan doon na po no, pwedeng ipasok ang mga kabataan, ang mga estudyante na may autism spectrum disorder. And eventually, they can also go mainstream kung sila po ay nakapag-adapt na or they were already dumaan na sila sa mga therapy, ika nga speech therapy, occupational therapy. And because of that, isang kakulangan din po ay lack of trained professionals, the therapists themselves, the doctors. So we need more of these kinds of professionals para po matulungan itong mga kabataan na diagnosed with the spectrum, no? Autism spectrum disorder dahil nagsisiksikan na sila with a very few therapeutic, mga centers who can offer ng mga therapy. Ayan. And because of that, no, yung diagnosis din because of the lack of trained professionals, medyo late na na-diagnose. The ideal age po for early intervention is before the child turns 3 ay nadadiagnose na para magkaroon tayo ng maaga-agang intervention and eventually they can be rehabilitated, no? Meron silang dadaan ng mga therapeutic and rehabilitation clinics and training programs para po sila ay maging well off to do na maisama sila sa society. But thanks to certain mga NGO groups, meron na rin po tayong Autism Society in the Philippines na isa po tong organization na they work to build an Autism OK Philippines. So they host events and activities, okay, na para magkaroon po tayo ng awareness. Ayan. So for today, pag-uusapan po natin, no? Yung nasabi natin kanina si Dr. Leo Kanner na describe niya yung autism in infants. So as a parent, ano ba ang pwede nating ma-check sa ating mga anak if you're suspecting if your child no has what do you call an autism spectrum disorder. So ano ba yung mga senyales na ating ide-detect? Okay, so umpisahan po natin, no? In general, pag sinabi nating autism spectrum disorder, ito daw po yung mga classic symptoms na makikita natin in all age group. Okay, but very hard for babies. Unang-una, poor communication skills. Pangalawa, restricted interest. Parang hindi sila gaanong interesado sa mga bagay-bagay na interesado ang mga babies. Pangatlo, yung tinatawag nating steaming and repetitive behaviors. Meron silang certain behavior na bihirang makita sa mga normal na nakikita natin sa mga bata. And they have limited to almost no verbal skills. So, yan yung mga four basic na nakikita no, for a pediatrician to diagnose a child with autism. Pero nasabi natin kanina, this is impossible to see in a small baby na hindi pa naman talaga nagde-develop ang kanilang communication skills. Okay, so paano mo masasabi na, oops, teka, para ma-diagnose early and ma-rehabilitate early? So, ano yung dapat nating senyales o dapat nating makita sa isang baby na pwede nating sabihin meron siyang autism spectrum disorder? So, unang-una is they have lack of physical engagement to their caregiver or to their parents. Because autistic babies might not engage, no? The same way as yung mga tinatawag nating neurotypical infants or babies. Yun yung tawag, yung general term for normal. Example, no? Yung baby na may autism, pag nginitian mo, kinantahan mo, clap-clap mo, medyo titignan ka niya, may eye contact, gagayahin ka niya. Lalo na kung si baby ay around 3 or 4 months. Ayan, kasi nag-eye contact na yan, ngumingiti na yan. Yan yung mga yon. So, very limited eye contact, lack of physical engagement. At the same time, no, kung minsan yung mga autistic babies, they are fuzzier. Parang mabilis silang mairita. No? Iyak sila ng iyak. Yan, yun yung napagkakamalan kabagin si baby. Yan yon. So, number 3, they have sensory processing challenges. Ano yun, no? Textures, bedding, and clothings, mga tela, certain clothings can cause distress to babies on spectrum. So, parang medyo hindi nila gusto. Okay? Meron silang pinipili. At the same time, they get overwhelmed by toys that make noise or flashing lights. Ayaw nila yon. Okay? So, very sensitive ang kanilang sense of hearing, yung mga 5 senses nila. Very sensitive. So, ayaw din daw na nga nila yon. Early signs of impaired social interaction may appear at 6 to 9 months, no, when neurotypical babies will start to imitate and respond to the people around them. Yun din, no, yung pag 6 to 9 months, nanggagaya na yan. Yun na yung close open, o say bye-bye, o smile, hindi nila gagawin yon. No, babies with autism spectrum disorder will often not smile back or laugh when playing silly game. Mas madalas, blank stares o parang tulala, parang hindi nila nasusundan. Kung minsan, pag may nagtatawanan o pinapatawa, instead na tumawa, iiyak pa at mabilis, parang sobrang magugulatin. So, yan daw yung mapapansin. And at the same time, nasabi natin kanina with regards to speech o ano, hindi man pa sila nagsasalita dahil baby, pero nagbababble na sila dapat. So, as early as 6 months, nagbababble na sila baby. Pero ang babies na pwede nating i-consider na nasa spectrum, hindi sila nagbababble or nagmi-mix sound. O, yung nilalaro yung bibig nila, ayon wala silang gano'n. Okay, so these are the signs that baby as young as less than 1 year old ay nasa spectrum. Now, after they turned 1, so toddler na 'yan. Ano naman ang mapapansin natin sa mga toddlers? So, generally, nagpo-progress yung mga symptoms na napansin nung baby sila. Yung mga tantrums, outbursts, mabilis silang iyakin. So, yun, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yun. And diagnosing autism in toddler boys is more common than girls, according to the research. Boys aged 2 to 4 often begin to show symptoms associated with autism, such as yung lack of social skills. Kasi yan dinadala na sila sa daycare center sa school, hindi sila nakikilaro. Ayan. Number 2, restricted interest. Sa isang bagay lang talaga sila nagkakaroon ng fascination at yun lang, kaya nilang maglaro paulit-ulit dun lang sa iisang toy. At pag tinanggal mo yun sa kanya, magagalit siya. Yun. Number 3, still yung sensory issues. Meron pa rin siyang sensory dysregulation. So, it's harder for a toddler to manage as they receive intense stimuli compared to a regular child. So, example, birthday parties, 1 year old, 2 year old. So, andyan sila clown, andyan sila magician, andyan yung mga interactive play. Ayaw nila yun. Okay? Hindi sila natutuwa at nai-stress pa lalo sila. So, yung lalo na kung may sa mga yaya, no, there's a disconnect. Ayan, hindi sila nakiki-relate. So, at the same time, yung behavior, no? Their behaviors could be challenging. This could be in extreme. Pwede silang aggressive or pwedeng apathetic, walang pakialam. So, aggression may also be, yung aggression sa mga bata, andito yung iyakin, no, na-frustrate, ayan. So, yan yan. So, how signs of autism in girls differ to boys? Nasabi natin kanina, ang mga kalalakihan, mas earlier silang nadadiagnose. Pero it doesn't mean na girls ay excuse because me as a pediatrician, I also see patients na babae diagnosed with autism. So according to child behavior specialists, no, 1 in 3 children diagnosed with autism is female. So only 1 girl to every 9 boys is diagnosed with high-functioning autism, yung tinatawag nating Asperger's syndrome. Ito yung, kung nanonood po kayo ng mga K-drama, yung pong The Good Doctor and si Attorney Wu, yung mga genius level. So, technically, under the autism spectrum disorder pa rin sila, na tinatawag nating Asperger's syndrome. Pero mas madalas pa rin, no, they still have social communication disorders. Ayan, kung napanood po niyo yun, wala silang eye contact and iba, parang iba yung takbo ng kanilang logic. So, a study of 300 girls in Cleveland Clinic suggests autistic females are less likely to exhibit classically male symptoms. So, ano ba yung mga classically male symptoms? Yung mga restricted interest, difficulties in social situations, episodes of intense aggravation, and self-harm. So, yun daw yung sa male. So, sila yung parang Kung noon na hindi pa alam yung mga kalalakihan, ito yung napagkakamalang nambubuli. Okay, kasi nananakit, pero hindi pala totally naintindihan. Yung mga kababaihan naman, mas madalas, they are labeled as having developmental delay, no? Without a diagnosis of autism because of mas mahinhin siguro. Ayan. But eventually, upon assessment, pareho lang po pala. Okay? So, pareho lang na may autism. So, nasabi natin kanina, the ideal age is before 3 years old, ma-diagnose na. This is according to the Center for Disease Control. An autism diagnosis can be appropriately given as early as 1.5 years old. Okay? By screening, ayan. So, mga nada-diagnose na yan. Pero yung mga screening for autism spectrum disorder, ginagawa na po yan less than 1 year old sa clinic, as early as 9 months old, or even 6 months kung yun nga, walang mga eye contact. Ayan, diagnose na sila at 18 months and follow up at around 2 and 3 years for wellness check-up kung hindi na-diagnose early. So kung they receive an official diagnosis, no, until they reach the age 2 or 3, mas maganda yung magiging intervention. And bago pa pumasok sa regular school, pwede na silang ma-assist, no, para yung mga challenges nila with regards to social skills ay pwede nang ma-address at pwede silang maipasok with regular school. But if there's a late diagnosis, ayan, mas mahirap kasi they have to go through behavior modifications o mga therapy para po sila maipasok regularly. So, it's very important that you have a pediatrician na makapag-assess. Kung wala man, no, dapat dun sa mga health centers, dapat meron din tayong mga midwives or nurses na naggagawa ng mga physical exam or checklist to see yung mga developmental milestones ng mga bata. Kasi kapag na-assess early, and they underwent several diagnostic exams, which is technically non-invasive, mga checklist lang yan. Titignan-tignan lang certain questionnaires na binibigay sa mga magulang or caregivers, ay pwede na silang ma-diagnose early at magkaroon ng proper intervention. At pwede pa tayong magkaroon ng second opinion, especially mas makita sila ng tinatawag nating mga developmental or neurodevelopmental pediatricians. So pagka nagkaroon ng early interventions, maganda. So ano po yung mga early interventions na ginagawa if sila ay na-diagnose? Ito pong early interventions ay ginagawa po ng team, no, of professionals headed by the neurodevelopmental pediatricians. At the same time, papasok po yung mga psychiatrists, psychologists, and different therapies from the occupational therapies down to the speech therapies. Sila po yung tinatawag nating help support for autistic children. So iba-ibang mga interventions po, no? But the most common are the early start Denver model that they encourage positive feedbacks, shared activities, and most especially parental involvement. So kailangan intentionally andyan ang magulang para po sa therapy ng bata. There is the applied behavioral analysis. Ito, medyo similar sila, positive reward system and parental engagement with the program. Yan. Say yung short niya is ABA. Yan. Meron po naman yung picture exchange communication system. I have one patient, no, sa ganito siya naging okay. Kaya niyang sabihin yung gusto niyang sabihin through pictures o yung tinatawag nga nating picture exchange communication system or PECS. So ito yung nonverbal and semi-verbal children, hindi man sila nakakapagsalita but they can communicate via pictures and symbols. Pero kung kaya nila makapagsalita, meron tayong tinatawag na verbal behavioral intervention or VBI, no? This is used with children who struggle still with speech pero puwede silang tinatawag na other form of verbal communication. Ayan, puwede pa rin. So, pumapasok diyan yung mga speech therapies. Other program ay yung tinatawag nating DTT, PRT o ito yung tinatawag discrete trial training, pivotal response training. So, these are under the guidance of professionals. Ayan, so marami. Ayan, kaya naglalabasan na po yung mga therapy centers for this kind of condition sa ating mga anak and even in their adult years. So to sum it up, no, while autism is most often diagnosed when a young child has not met yung tinatawag nating neurotypical milestones o yung mga popular milestones during their formative years, no, o kaya kung minsan okay nung umpisa biglang tumigil, nag-regress. Some experts believe that those are already signs of autism. So, they can be diagnosed as early as infancy. Therefore, pwedeng magkaroon ng intervention and therapy and they can grow up as a regular, no? A person, pwede silang magkaroon ng trabaho, pwede silang maging professional, depende na rin sa kanilang field of interest. So, as we end, what does God teach about autism, no? How can we relate this being a Christian as a follower of Jesus? Sabi sa Isaiah 54:13, all your children shall be taught by the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. So every child still special, 'di ba? So pwede pa ring maturuan, pwede pa rin silang maging productive hanggang sa paglaki nila. Sabi nga sa Salmo o Awit 139, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. So hindi nagkakamali ang Panginoon, meron siyang magandang plano sa bawat bata. And sabi rin sa Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. So may purpose for every child, no? Hindi man natin maintindihan, so we call them different, but God called them special, no? Every person has an inherent dignity and worth. So, minsan sasabihin natin sa kanila, they are persons with disabilities, but we could better way look at them with persons with different abilities, and they have God's abilities. So, we must learn to recognize the gift that the Lord has given to every person. Dahil nga si Jesus, during His time on earth, no? He looked at the crowd, which is us, with compassion. He understood us, our specific needs, especially our need for a Savior. So technically, we are also spiritually autistic, no? When during the fall, no, nagkaroon na tayo ng disconnect sa ating Panginoon. Hindi na natin siya fully maintindihan, kaya may sarili na tayong mundo. Pero hindi pumayag ang Panginoon. Yung inisip nating sariling nating mundo, bumaba ang Panginoon para ipakita na sa atin na meron pang mas maganda beyond this fallen world. So Jesus, 100% God and 100% man, became our vital source of support for our spiritual autism when He offered us a sense of belonging and understanding of who God is and what He wants for us, no? Na tayo naman ay talagang nagkaroon ng disconnect sa Kanya. He wants to redeem us back to Him. So during His 3 years ministry, no, just a few years, less than 5 years, He patiently discipled and mentored the 12 disciples na alam naman natin may kanya-kanyang personalities pa nga. Okay? Si Peter, na may pagka parang ADHD, yung magkapatid na James and John na basagulero, meron tayong doubting Thomas, may Judas, pero He lovingly and patiently discipled and mentored them. At the same time, no, yung crowd, yung mga tao, in a lot of ways, He preached, nagkaroon siya ng Sermon on the Mount, nagkaroon siya ng healing ministry, nagkaroon siya ng feeding ministry, at marami pang iba. So he accommodated people from different status, from the beggars to the outcasts, lepers, up to the Pharisees. Ayan, hinarap niya. And even, di ba nga, before he was crucified, si Pontius Pilate na mataas ang ranking. Okay, he gave chance for people to connect to him so we could connect to God. So Jesus taught us everything about unity and mutual respect, as well as divine message of love and acceptance for all individuals, regardless of their abilities and disabilities. So as a follower of Jesus, we must also adopt, no, this compassionate and constructive engagement with individuals of different abilities, and we must provide an environment that both inclusive and supportive, not just for people na may spectrum, but all people, dahil lahat tayo ay may tinatawag na pangangailangan or needs. So that's it po for today sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. Nawa po sa sandaling panahon ay may nibigay po tayong linaw at mahalagang impormasyon tungkol po sa ating paksa sa araw na to. Aking dalangin ay mamuhay po tayo ng malusog sa ating katawan at sa ating kaisipan. Abangan niyo po muli ako sa susunod na Sabado para po sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan dito lamang po sa 1143 DZMR, a proud member of KBP. Ating tandaan ang ating kalusugan ay kayamanang di mapapantayan. Happy weekend po sa ating lahat!